Each movie will be graded by a letter like we used to be graded in elementary school.
Now, I give this movie a solid B. Sex and the City 2.
Hey, I like that. I'm kidding, I didn't like that at all.
Good.
In the Theater with J and K.
We're back.
I'm Kevin Murphy.
And I'm Jesse Dahlster. And believe it or not, it has been 5 years since the first episode of In the Theater with J and K. In the Theater with J and K. I came first.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are. The thing that nobody wanted, and yet we're still doing it.
Yeah.
So, in case people have forgotten, we will be talking about movies.
But not 4.
But quite a few of them. And each movie that we talk about will be given a grade like we used to be graded in elementary school.
The grades range from an A to an F.
Correct.
You want to go? Shall we go over how the grades work, or?
I think people have went through school. They know how to
Yeah, I
grade.
think most people are smart enough to know.
Anyway,
Well, I am thinking of giving at least one of our movies the new grade, the Super F.
Okay. Anyways, as you can see, I'm a little bit more subdued. And that's because I took horse tranquilizers today because I didn't want to do this. But anyways, also, I realize that this is probably a little bit different for some people because it used to be that you would just hear this voice.
On the
Now,
radio.
you have to see this face. So I need to warn you, I'm a little fat. Just saying, that's the way it is. Let's move on. Kevin's also kind of odd looking. So
I agree.
we're okay.
I'm no basket of fruit.
Well, fruit, maybe fruit. Because...
Fresh fruit.
anyways. Yes. So, it's been a while since we've even talked to one another. So,
Yeah.
we'll just get back into the format. We'll move on. But this movie list is the weirdest list ever. We're doing movies from 2015. We're jumping just movies we haven't covered, movies that we wanted to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to it.
Let's get swinging.
So our first movie is Jurassic World, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's my summary.
Yep, go ahead.
You just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea. Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out?
Depends.
On what?
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab? Evacuate the island. She's a highly intelligent animal. She will kill anything that moves.
Oh, God.
The fourth chapter of this epic series is set 22 years after the original events of Jurassic Park. Isla Nublar is now a fully functioning dinosaur theme park, Jurassic World. After 10 years of operation, visitor rates are declining. And in order to fulfill a corporate mandate, a new attraction is created to re-spark visitors' interest. But that backfires horribly. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard star, but really, at the end of the day, it's all about the dinosaurs.
Damn straight.
So what do you think of this movie, Kevin?
Well, I didn't think it was spectacular. And for me, the stuff that was... I don't want to say this movie was bad or awful, but I thought it was kind of lame.
Why was it lame?
For me, okay.
You're lame. Hey, you're lame.
I'm lame.
Okay.
But basically,
Lame duck.
I thought it started really good, and I thought it
I thought
ended
the beginning
really...
was horrible.
I thought the beginning was okay.
No. It ended.
not to give the ending away, although I'm sure, considering the money this film has made, everyone's seen it. The ending...
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
The ending was, probably for me, the best part of the whole film. When the motherfucking T-Rex goes on... This was uncensored, by the way.
We haven't decided. We might put bleeps. I don't know. Like, I mean, you work for yourself. I'm building a name. Might put bleeps. We'll figure it out.
But, as the nostalgia critic puts it, the motherfucking T-Rex...
There's another bleep.
When she takes on the...
More editing work for us.
When the bad dinosaur... It is by far... Okay, the effects for me... They're not any much more of an improvement over the original film. But they're still better than King Kong, as you pointed out.
The final battle between the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex, which is actually amazing, and it's everything that Godzilla should have been. It was really good. As you said, is amazing. The issue is the fact that the CG, there's too much CG, and everybody has talked about this. The best scene in the movie, the most emotional scene in the movie is when the Apatosaur, Brachiosaur, Brontosaur, don't know which one that was, wasn't the Brachiosaur from the first movie, is dying. And yes, you can see it on the Blu-ray, but you can tell in the movie that that is an actual physical robotic dinosaur made by Legacy Effects, which is the effects studio after Stan Winston died. And it is the best scene. Jurassic Park relied very heavily on animatronics. So did The Lost World, and so did Jurassic Park 3. And they by far had better integration between like CG dinosaurs and physical dinosaurs. And when I first saw the movie, they had mentioned the fact that there was going to be practical dinosaurs. So I was looking. And then, as the movie was released, they said the only practical dinosaur was the Apatosaur. So the first time I saw it, I was looking at it and I was thinking, maybe that one's a practical one. There's lots of close-up effects of the raptors, and the close-ups in certain light,
they look decent.
Looked really good. So I'm thinking maybe. And then the second time I saw it, I thought, I think I know what they did. They didn't like the animatronics, so they painted over with CG, and then by the third time I'm like, this is all CG except for the Apatosaur scene, which is fine. I enjoyed it. Did a lot of things, and that girl that dies with the pterodactyls, the flying dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, the pterodactyls are technically not dinosaurs.
Yes, I know that.
But yeah, I'll admit, basically that middle scene when the
female death in the Jurassic Park series.
You're right.
And it was probably...
Not counting dinosaurs.
That's true. But first human female death in the series, and it was
all right,
amazing.
I'll go over a few things in this movie I didn't like. Like this should come as no shock to anyone, but the human characters for me are still very... They're still very wooden. They're still boring.
I hear for the sequel they're going to bring Jeff Goldblum back. Because he's getting his return to the screen with the Independence Day sequel.
Well, you see, with that, I don't know why I'm talking like Jeff Goldblum right now.
You sound not like Jeff Goldblum. You sound like
thank you very much.
Somebody who's having an epileptic shock seizure with a dick in his mouth. I don't know. We're not on the radio. I might edit that one. Anyways, what else didn't you like?
Anyway. Well, yeah, it's just that, like, the
By the way, none of these movies that we've seen have we seen at the Seaway Mall Cineplex. Thank you. They're still paying me.
Basically, with, what I didn't like, there's the subplot, like, oh, how sad the parents are getting divorced.
Which was dumb, it went nowhere. And at the beginning of the movie's set at Christmas. They're playing Christmas music in the background, but their setting doesn't make sense. As they're driving... It's the very subtle. It's like the Frank Sinatra song, like
Let It Snow,
I think it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I don't know. And then the airport, same thing. But then when they bring out the Indominus Rex and they say it's opening in May, they also say it's only a few short weeks away. So apparently,
make up your minds, folks.
In 2015, we're supposed to be celebrating Christmas in April, which, based on the amount of snow we have, could make sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
But, like I said, probably the one character that really bugged me the most was this guy that was trying to turn the raptors into his own, like, little army to use for the government.
D'Onofrio.
He was so, like, he's basically an early 80s or 90s bad guy. He's like the bad guy from, the bad teacher from the Karate Kid, only he's not funny.
Well, I think, and they are unfortunately going to go with that in the series. I know that's where they're headed. But I think it's not the worst thing in the world.
Oh no, and even among the Jurassic Park movies, like that whole ending sequence, that's great. I mean, but all the stuff like the talking, the conflicts, the human stuff, it just doesn't seem very selfie.
Good promotional material.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel very Jurassic. All right, it feels like Jurassic Park, but when they focus on the dinosaurs, that's cool. And I'm just asking myself, I'm sorry I'm going back and forth, but people are not interested in dinosaurs anymore. How is that possible?
Well, obviously they still are. This movie made $1 billion friggin' dollars.
No, I mean the characters in the movie. They're like, people aren't interested in dinosaurs anymore. How?
Well,
I mean, would they rather watch cat videos on YouTube?
Like, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, at some point the novelty would wear off because they are just animals. I, personally, if they announced that a Jurassic World was opening, I wouldn't go until after it's been functioning for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, these movies have shown that
dinosaurs...
if it doesn't get off the ground before it opens, and if it closes, like, I mean, you gotta give it some time. But no, I think eventually, if you go enough, they would lose their luster. But I read an article about how expensive it would be to go. And it's not like these people are going every weekend because it's like $10,000 a pop. So when you go, you're going to like it. It's not Disneyland.
No. So, continue.
I think that for all of its flaws, we had a year of... Like, I mean, another thing, it really follows beat for beat Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it feels like it's Jurassic Park. I do think
another movie that we're talking about later kind of follows beat for beat as compared to...
For me, I think...
It's true.
Like, the ending fight is awesome, and that's enough. That's worth a lot of points.
Especially in 3D.
Especially in 3D.
The first time...
Gotta admit, it's great in 3D.
It's the only time I've actively wanted to see a movie in 3D, and the first out of the 3 times I saw it in 3D, and it was wonderful.
And, like, when the pterodactyls get loose, that's cool, too. When they show the park opening, that's cool. But I think all the human stuff...
Jimmy Buffett makes a cameo.
Right, he does.
The 2 margarita guy.
And so does Jimmy Fallon.
I know. I have the margarita glasses that he was holding.
But anyway, because I think they put too much focus on the human bullshit in this, I gotta give this movie a C+.
You realize every time you swear, we gotta watch this in real time to find you swearing.
Sorry.
Aye.
You realize we're both gonna get mad at one of the movies we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, I know.
But
anyways.
But I gotta give this movie... It just gets a C+ for me.
A C+?
C+. I mean, if they put more focus on more awesome T-Rex stuff, more awesome dinosaur stuff than less human bullcrap stuff, I would give it probably a B, but for me it's a C+ movie.
I think that you corrected yourself, say more dinosaur stuff. I think the T-Rex was perfect because she got her triumphant return. It's the same T-Rex from the first movie.
Actually, one thing I really liked was when she appears, she smashes right through the skeleton of a Spinosaurus. It's only for a brief second, but I was like, that is justice served right.
Yes, but I think you can tell what the creators were doing when they decided to make it human-centered. The divorce subplot goes nowhere, and it doesn't need to exist.
Even Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's relationship, I don't feel like it... You can cut that out of the whole movie.
Yeah, but actually, I read that him kissing her after she saves him, he totally... I'm having conversations with our camera person, too. I'm not an on-camera guy. I'm a behind-the-camera guy. Dulster Videography and Photography. Cineplex. Oh, and KD Media. Kevin David Murphy. KDM, and then Edia at the end. That's clever.
Thank you.
It's the best thing that's come out of that head since Irish Spring.
And I'm based up in Owen Sound, Ontario.
And I'm in St. Catharines, but we travel far and wide to tell your story.
And so what grade do you give Jurassic World?
To summarize, dinosaurs are awesome. The reason why the humans exist is to give it a human, you need something to relate to. The effects, subpar, great in some instances, because when I'm looking at the movie and I'm thinking, that's not CG, that's real, the effects are good. But there's lots of stuff where the effects aren't good, but I can't give it a C because
It's Jurassic Park.
And I bought it the first day it came out. I've watched it. I bought the Lego game. The Lego game is fun, really fun. I'm not a giant fan of Lego games. The person behind the camera said that they're good relationship testers. I have yet to test them with my relationship, and Kevin probably won't ever have to test them with a relationship because he left his heart in Vancouver. Anyways,
I'm starting to think maybe I should install a Punish Jesse button.
But fantastic. It's not perfect, so I'm just going to give it a solid A on the fact that it is the only movie I've seen in theaters 3 times, so there was enough draw to get me to come back.
Okay.
So,
Shall we get on to our next movie now?
unfortunately, but yeah.
From deep in the hinterlands to the greatest metropolis on Earth, they came to reclaim the glory they once knew.
Welcome to GNN.
The Global News Network.
Tell us about the new head honcho.
Linda Jackson is a winner.
Linda Jackson, how are you, my friend?
This is Linda.
Oh, black. Black.
Ron's.
Black.
Aren't you the guy who lost his job to his wife?
Wow, right on the lens. I'm sorry, sweetie, you're the best. Quick kiss.
Anchorman 2, The Legend Returns. The best way to summarize this movie is that it's exactly what it says. It's basically Anchorman's comeback. Ron Burgundy, played by Will Ferrell, along with all his friends, have returned, and they've moved up to national and world news now. But, well, at least Ron has. And unfortunately, it looks like Jesse did not like this movie. But more or less, Ron is having problems with his wife, and all his friends have moved on to bigger and better places. So now Ron is trying to make the news new. Now let's ask the drunk Jay what he thought of this movie.
Give me a second. Spilling it all over the place. That's fine. It's just alcohol.
I might need some of that later.
Eat what? Oh, screw you.
Okay. Well, while Jesse's trying to finish his drink, I thought Anchorman 2 I thought it was funny, but I didn't find it laugh out loud, ha ha funny, till near the end when they get in their huge news team brawl with all the other news anchors. And I thought the characters, for me, this was just it was an okay sequel. I didn't think it topped the first one till that ending. It's like Jurassic World for me. I thought the ending was good, but everything else was okay to meh.
It's probably like sex with you, too. Ending is good. Everything else is just okay. Meh. Yeah. It'd be pretty fair, I think. But we may never know. Anyways. Anchorman 2 proves yet again that bigger is not always better.
Mm-hmm.
As does Kevin. And the return of Ron Burgundy depends on its biggerness. Bigger city, bigger sets, bigger budget, bigger actors. Director Adam McKay and star Will Ferrell have allowed almost an entire decade to drift by before the sequel's release. One would expect such a delay would allow for a refinement of material, but as you can see by us, time does not refine material.
No.
By the way, that alcohol, that's how I did 2 years of radio show stuff with Kevin. Lots of alcohol.
He's right.
So much alcohol.
And you won't believe what I had to do to put up with him.
Yeah, there's nothing. I'm not even going to say what he did. On a Vagisil. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's a word. Okay, that's an excuse.
Anyways, the end result seems thrown together, incoherent, and sometimes unbearably funny. Now, incoherence and poor editing didn't hurt the first Anchorman. It's not perfect by any means.
And I don't think it's even trying to be perfect. It's just trying to be a dumb, fun comedy.
In fact, its goofy premise and refusal to really pin down a narrative made for an off-the-wall delight. However, while the original Anchorman was incoherent and thrown together, Anchorman 2 is thrown together incoherent and sometimes unbearably funny. There are a few scenes that induce giddy chuckles, like the condom collection, and there are very few laugh-out-loud sequences, where still almost no quotable lines can be found.
For me, I found myself, when I saw this movie, I didn't find myself laughing till the end, but before that, I did smirk a bit and like, okay, that's an okay joke, and I was impressed with some of the humor, but I didn't laugh out loud funny till the end. And it's funny because all those celebrity cameos, usually I hate that kind of stuff, but for this, I don't know why, but for something that felt so wrong, it felt so right. Like I said, I don't think this movie is... I enjoyed it, but the ending was just too good of a payoff.
One thing I like about the first movie is the improvisation in the first film is very good, but it was often really chopped down just for time and everything, and that's what made it more concise and enjoyable. In this one, it was 2 hours long.
Almost.
It was 119 minutes, give or take.
And that's long for a comedy.
And that's because they let the improvising run too long, and there are a few good awkward moments, but really, as you mentioned, the end of the day, it leads up to another battle of network anchors, but it's on a grander scale than the first one. There's even a Minotaur that appears for whatever reason.
And a were hyena, played by Harrison Ford.
But by the anticlimactic end of Anchorman 2, we are all left with a bad taste in our mouths, or at least I am. And the disappointment of a follow-up that can never top its predecessor. I actually enjoyed the first one quite a bit, but...
Well, you kind of gave it a negative review when we first saw it.
Yeah, it grows on you.
Yeah.
Stupid things grow on me for some reason.
And over time, I came to, for me, eventually I came to accept the room. I even made a trailer recut of it.
I don't know what to say.
But for me, I thought it was a decent follow-up. I don't think it was perfect, but it's not trying to be. Most comedies, I find with most comedies, it's a gamble. For them, they try some jokes, they work. Others, they don't work. And at the end of the day, that's what a comedy is. You're just trying something. For me, I got to give Anchorman 2 a solid B.
It was funny in parts. I remember seeing it in theaters too. And really, if you like the first one, you'll like parts of the second one. B-. Like, it's not great as far as comedies go. There's lots of cameos, which are fine. Will Smith is in it too.
Oh yeah.
So
ESPN, all sports.
There's that as well. So B-, maybe C+, but I'll be nice. Just because for old time's sake.
Is it building up to a threequel set in the 90s?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I hope not.
Seeing as how much these Anchorman movies have made, it's possibly going to lead to a third one. So for now, I'm just going to bide my time and wait. It was a decent follow-up. but it could have been a lot funnier.
Yeah. Just like this. Decent follow-up. Probably could be a lot funnier.
Maybe.
It's because of the radio show. We had commercials. And we had to be concise. Now we're just talking and drinking alcohol, which I did occasionally before the radio show too. Anyways.
On to movie number 3 now.
Yeah. Muppets Most Wanted. What a weird... We're going everywhere. Like, Kevin wanted to review a porn too, but I said no. What was it called? Backdoor Kevin 4?
No, that wasn't the title.
I
think you want to review Front Door Jesse 6.
Well, at least I've made more movies than you have. So it means my front door, which isn't a door. So that's weird. Oh, I get it. Yeah, well, I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have one. That one was actually pretty good. I'll give you that. Whatever.
Thanks, man.
Whatever. Kevin likes anal sex.
And Jesse likes it mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth? I like kissing. Mouth to mouth, like mouth to CPR? Sure, let's do it. Mouth to mouth.
What were we talking about again? Muppets?
Yeah, anal sex and the Muppets Most Wanted. Let's do this. Kevin's over in the corner thinking about porking Miss Piggy at the Seaway Mall Cineplex.
The world's greatest criminal has stolen the greatest treasures, escaped the greatest prisons, and he bears a strong resemblance to someone you know.
It's not easy being mean.
It's Constantine, the world's most dangerous frog.
Check this out. Ah!
Oh, look, it's Kermit.
Ah!
Ah! Well, what did you do with Kermit?
There must be some mistake. I'm Kermit the Frog. I'm not Constantine.
You're going to be here a while.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog and his friends are approached by Dominic Bad Guy to go on a world tour. Unknown to them, this is all part of a sinister plan of Constantine, the world's most evil frog, to become the greatest thief of all time, after making sure that Kermit is jailed himself because he looks exactly like Kermit more or less. Constantine impersonates him to use the Muppet Tour to cover for his scheme. Kevin, what did you think? I remember sitting in the theater with you, seeing the first trailer for the first Muppets, and there is something either absolutely amazing, frightening, or gay, seeing a person of Kevin's stature, look, and everything turn into a child when the Muppets are on. So funny.
The thing is, the Muppets they're timeless.
They are.
They're like the Looney Tunes or Mickey Mouse or Garfield. They don't really. Here's something I found interesting about the Muppets. No matter how many celebrities you put in, you could put in 5 Victoria's Secret Angels, 4 big name celebrities, and 1 asshole presidential candidate named Donald Trump, and they still wouldn't distract from the Muppets.
Kevin really has to work those Victoria's Secret Angels into everything.
That was the only one time.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, the thing with the Muppets is they steal the show. The plot for this movie, I find it interesting that it literally starts right where the last one ends. And
Thank you, Nostalgia Critic.
Well, no, not just Nostalgia Critic didn't just point this out. You watch the movie and you find this out yourself.
Yeah, I know.
But I watched this and I'm like, I'm not sure how many movies really do this. I mean, there's Back to the Future. But I just find that so interesting. And this is a comedy.
What other movies do it? Quantum of Solace takes place right after Casino Royale.
And like the ending to this movie does imply there's going to be another one.
Well, what do you think of the TV show?
The Muppets TV show?
Yeah.
The one right now? Or?
Yeah, the current one.
I've only watched a few episodes.
I liked the premiere, but I haven't had time to watch it because it's.
But it is the Muppets, and like I said, the Muppets are timeless. No matter what they're in, no matter what they're doing, you just love them. They're friendly. They're just awesome. Every one of them. My favorite Muppet growing up was always Animal. Who was yours?
The classic Kermit, like, just. I didn't like when I grew up. Really, the Muppets Christmas Carol was my go-to kind of Muppet.
Same here.
So that's the only one, and then these two Muppet movies. But really, the other ones, if they're on, I see them a lot. I do baby photography, so I see a lot of Muppet stuff in homes, and yeah, it's enjoyable. But I think the Christmas Carol is about as good for me as it gets. I like when media takes something like the Muppets or the Flintstones and makes a Christmas Carol out of it. Like the Flintstones Christmas Carol, not that we're talking about it, is also a fantastic Christmas Carol adaptation. But this movie, Jim Henson's successors have tried for years to recapture the magic of the original Muppet movie. The Great Muppet Caper and the Muppets Take Manhattan have failed to take us to that special land of wonderment and Kevin's wet dreams. 2011's The Muppets tried hard, but stumbled occasionally. Its plot focused on a new Muppet, as well as his brother Jason Segel. Anyways, the creators of Muppet Most Wanted understood these shortcomings and comically pointed them out. I'm not saying that Muppets Most Wanted is as good as the original three or dare I say better, but it's as close to Muppet greatness as we've seen since Jim Henson's passing.
Mm-hmm.
The writers found the balance between silly and witty. The plot centered around the beloved original characters while introducing a hilarious new villain. Musical numbers were great. Old school feel never induced cringing. We finally have a post-Henson Muppets that will stand the test of time.
It lives up to his legacy.
It does, which is very important in stuff like that.
Let's see. I also think it's worth noting, like, the celebrity cameos in this. Like, they're funny. Like, Tina Fey's hilarious, and she actually does kind of have a decent singing voice.
Okay.
And everyone. Like, probably my favorite cameo is Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Trejo, sorry.
Trejo. Wow, racist. Trejo.
Who plays one of the inmates, and I don't know why, but whenever he cameos in anything, he's just so charming and he's just so likable. Even when he cameoed in the first Anchorman movie.
Okay. And
again, Ricky Gervais plays one of the bad guys. He's also funny. You can obviously tell he's the bad guy, but really, who cares? Who cares about the bad guy in this movie? Everyone here just wants to see the Muppets do fun stuff. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's what we got and that's what we wanted. No one really, for me, I didn't care what the plot was about. I just wanted to see the Muppets do fun stuff.
That's very fair. It's also worth noting that Kevin would very much like to see Miss Piggy Pork's Porky.
I really think I should install that Punish Jesse button. Turtle!
Anyways, what would you give it?
I would give this movie an A.
An A?
Yep.
That's fair. It was creative. It was nice to see. It was nice to see everybody trying hard and everything. It is really cool because it's not like they're like total real life puppets. You know they're puppets, but it's personified so well.
The way they're portrayed, they feel alive. Mm-hmm. The way they talk, they feel alive. You don't care if they're just puppets. They're Muppets. They're real.
That's fair.
And you want them to be real. If someone said the Muppets aren't real, it's just, truth be told, it's hard to believe.
He wants them to be real.
They are real.
So bad. He wants to take Kermit home. For me, B+.
B+?
B+. It's not amazing. It's not life-changing cinema. It's not the best comedy. When it's funny, it does the job. It's great for kids and adults. It's good nostalgic. It's good nostalgia. But, yeah, B+.
All right, so that gets our first 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on the list?
Is it trivia time or movie 43?
Not yet. Movie 43.
You're going to summarize that, right?
And I might need some of that.
You can't have it.
They homeschool their son.
It's very important to us that Kevin has a normal and complete high school experience.
You dropped your books, fart face.
Hey guys! Come check out this kid's weird...
Wow.
Why didn't you call me?
Wait a minute, did I not?
You cried after sex. Do you know that?
Like a baby.
Oh, my soul's so dark because you saw some bats when you were little, you pussy.
Surprise!
Caught you a leprechaun.
Who's magically delicious now? Use your superior height! The iBabe is a high-fidelity music player.
Kids are sticking their...
You know what? In the Vegaport.
The fan then mangles their...
You know what?
You did extensive testing. Any red flags?
Our next movie is entitled Movie 43. If you look up the worst films ever made on Wikipedia, you will find it on there. Movie 43...
I hate coconut.
...is not a movie. It is a collection of sketches. Horrible sketches. It is a symbol of how awful Hollywood truly is. It is a piece of living, vile, vomit-inducing shit. I put it right up there with Garbage Shit Kids, Food Fuck, and Battle Fuck This Movie Earth.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
In other words, it's not a good movie. It sucks. It sucks so hard. You see talented people like Kate Winslet in this movie.
Yeah, it has a surprisingly impressive cast for what it's worth.
Yes, it has an amazing... But that's part of its problem.
Uma Thurman, Elizabeth Banks.
That's part of why it's so bad. It has this amazing cast. It's just a waste of time. It's an unbelievable waste of time. It's probably one of the... It's somewhere in my top 10 worst movies of all time now.
Well, let's face it. This is a waste of time as well. We could have just wrote the reviews. Waste of times are sometimes okay. Look at Kevin. He's here because of a waste of time. That's bad. I apologize. That one's really bad. That was me insinuating that his parents had nothing better to do than conceive him. I apologize. That one was really bad. They wasted their time. I might even edit that one out. That one is bad. But I kind of like it.
Turtle! Would you say this is worse than The Master of Disguise? Because that was the worst movie we reviewed on our show. That was the absolute worst we talked about.
Now I gotta make the text bigger because I'm drinking so much. I knew I was in trouble when Hugh Jackman took off his scarf. And it went downhill from there. There are gutters built high with more dignity than movie 43. Nearly every joke involves some sort of humiliation of genitalia, both male, female, and cat. Human Centipede had more grace. I had to wonder how the producers got so many A-list actors in their roster. Movie 43 has to be a low light for everybody in this movie. Anthology movies do not generally do well at the box office, and comedic ones doubly so. Kentucky Fried Movie and UHF did not do very well in the 70s and 80s, and movie 43 is living proof that decades later, time has not improved this genre.
This wasn't a movie. It was a rape.
Wow. Did this movie touch you while you were asleep?
It hurt me in my nightmares. But this movie was just so rotten. It was just pain. Pure, concentrated... It was a pure, concentrated waste of time and pain. Throughout you see so many skilled, talented actors, and that's the really insulting part. You've seen these actors do much better stuff. And to see them really lowering themselves, it's just unbelievable. I mean, this has got to be, like I said, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It may not be the worst, but trust me, it's somewhere in the top 10.
The trailer for it. The trailer that I always see opens up with the Terrence Howard sketch. And they're in a gym locker room. And they're about to play a basketball game. And he gives an inspirational speech. And in the trailer, that made me think, okay, that'll be funny. Because he's talking about how, you know, you're going to win. And it looks like it's going to be inspirational. And then he says, plus, have you seen the other team? And one of his students are like, yeah. And they're like, they're white. You guys are black. You're going to win. And I thought that was kind of funny, but like the movie itself.
The execution was terrible.
But anyways, it's not good. It's a waste of time unless you want to subject yourself to something horrible, which obviously is what I'm doing right now.
As am I.
I'm a lovable person.
As am I think. But in a way, we're both sadists. What grade would you give this?
A Z.
A Z?
A Z.
I'd give it a Z too.
Okay.
But since we're going by our rating system, you want to give it the Super F?
The Super F never existed.
Okay, we're gonna give it both an F. F. Wait. No. F. F.
Just like Kevin's college grades.
My grades were good. This is the first time both of us have ever officially given an F.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't give Master of Disguise an F?
I gave it a D-.
You're a fuckwad.
Oh, now who's swearing?
Jesus Christ.
Turtle!
What the...
F. We both... This is the first time both of us have given...
You know what?
Same
Screw
movie.
you. C-. Master of Disguise... Jesus Christ.
You already declared to give movie 43 an F?
Well, I can edit it out later. I never said F. I said... I give it a...
You gave it a Z.
A Hef. It's so good Hugh Hefner would want to watch it. Kevin definitely wants to be Hugh Hefner. Except, sorry, those are Playboy models, not your Victoria's Secret angels.
Shall we move on to our next movie? That's probably less painful.
It is less painful. When is this trivia happening?
In the middle. After this one, that's
Okay.
when we do the trivia.
Okay. I forgot to do the trivia, so I'm going to be... Anyways, this one.
Be like heaven.
You got the voice. I got the songs. We make a partnership.
Think Frankie would have cut Tommy loose right then. That's what you think? You're not from Jersey.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Frankie, this is your time.
They asked her what was the high point. But 4 guys under a street lamp. First time we made that sound, our sound, that was the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4 Seasons!
It's Jersey Boys. And there's a background story for this. It shows how my life is a failure. Not really something that I normally talk about. Don't nod your head that my life is a failure. Look at him. Jersey Boys, the Broadway musical, came out in 2006. I saw it probably in 2008. Fell in love. Straight men can like musicals too. They can. I saw it once. Loved it. Saw it twice. Loved it. Then decided I'm going to film school. And I got thinking, if they ever make a movie, I need to be on that movie crew. Well, I wasn't. But the movie is here. The movie exists, and let's talk about it.
Okay.
Jersey Boys is a musical biography of the four seasons, the rise, the tough times, the personal clashes, and the ultimate triumph of a group whose friends, or a group of friends whose music became symbolic of a generation and is even quite popular today, too. Frankie Valli still tours around. Far from a mere tribute concert, though it does include numbers from the popular Four Seasons catalog, Jersey Boys gets to the heart of the relationships at the center of the group with a special focus on the frontman, Frankie Valli. In addition to following the quartet's coming-of-age as performers, the core of the show is how an allegiance to a code of honor learned in the streets of their native New Jersey got them into a multitude of challenges and problems, gambling debts, mafia threats, and family disasters. Jersey Boys is a glimpse at the people behind a sound that has managed to endure over 4 decades of musical change. What did you think?
As far back as I can remember, I never wanted to see a Goodfellas musical.
Okay.
And my thoughts on Jersey Boys are basically, what I thought I wouldn't like is what I liked, and what I thought I would like is what I didn't like. For me, I didn't see the musical, but after seeing this movie, I actually wouldn't mind seeing it.
Playing in Cambridge.
Oh. But I like the songs. I like the beat of the film. I like Christopher Walken and his very small and sometimes random appearances. But what I don't like is basically 70% of this movie to me feels like bickering and yelling like it's Jersey Shore or something.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I got from this movie. I wish there was more focus on the music. Literally, on the music. And not less focus on characters, more focus on music. That's what I wanted from Jersey Boys. I don't think this movie is awful, but I think it needed more focus. When I watched this movie, I didn't really care too much about the conflicts that was going on. I just wanted to hear some awesome beats.
But the conflicts is the story.
I know, but like I said, the music is really what pushes this movie. I feel like this is from Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood directing a musical. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
He was in Paint Your Wagon. But I just wish... I thought the acting was really hammy.
Well, all of the actors have performed, except for the Piazza guy. I don't know his first name. The one who played Tommy DeVito. He's on Boardwalk Empire, but all the other 3 main leads have performed on stage, so they are stage actors.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But for me, simply put, I kind of got to give this movie a B-. The music is great, but I didn't really find myself investing that much in the characters of the story. But I will say, I like the ending to this movie. When they're all at their when they're being indicted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a nice send up.
Not indicted. Indicted is a bad thing.
Oh, and they're being welcomed into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it's a nice, touching ending, and that's it. I like the ending. I like the music. Actually, one thing I want to bring up is how they're narrating this. Because it does seem...
If you like that, then you'll like the stage musical, because it's more relevant in the stage musical. Because there's 4 of them. Each one gets to narrate a season.
As that approach works in a musical. Like, I've seen that stuff work in Fiddler on the Roof. And I can see it working here, but I can't see it working as well on film. Because there is no real audience on the set. There's just the characters.
Okay, that's fair.
So I gotta give this movie a B-. It's not awful. I dare even say it's that bad. It's just that I can't find myself investing in anything much aside from the music.
Okay, not the soundtrack, if that's what you're interested in.
So what would you give it?
I haven't talked about it yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you have to say about Jersey Boys?
This has to be one of the best musical biopics ever made. I'm talking right up there with Ray, La Bamba, and the Buddy Holly story. Not really sure which is the best of the ones before Jersey Boys, but I will say that they were equal to Jersey Boys. If I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be the Buddy Holly story, but because I love Frankie Valli and the story, Jersey Boys is right up there. Clint Eastwood is one of the coolest movie stars and directors ever. Unforgiven is easily my favorite movie, but Jersey Boys is my second.
Really?
Yes.
This is your second favorite Clint Eastwood movie?
Yes. Yeah. What? So screw you.
Screw me then.
I don't want to. I did notice mostly negative reviews on different sites and different critics at the time of the release. They picked too much at the melodrama and the subplots, as well as being somewhat below Eastwood's filmmaking standards. However, I disagree. Jersey Boys brilliantly documents the early days of low-life street thugs in New Jersey with ties to the mafia that become musical sensations. Frank Sinatra did it too.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to their induction, not indicted, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. Yes, this is a true story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, but this is adapted directly from the Broadway play of the same name. And the play is by far better than the movie, but we're not reviewing the play. The general look of the film keeps the audiences intrigued, I find. It bears a strong resemblance to Goodfellas, and Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese creates a perfect look of the 1950s.
I was just going to point out, like, a few of these scenes, it looks like they were shot in almost exactly the same place parts of Goodfellas were shot in.
Well, it was shot...
Like, even street for street, it looked the same.
Might have been close. They did shoot in on location quite often.
Mm-hmm.
But it emulates the look of Goodfellas, but it isn't an exact copy. Jersey Boys, since it is a musical, Clint Eastwood made everything look nicer and more artsy, adding more colors, nicer costumes, and better filming. But as the movie progresses, and it's kind of cool to see past the 1950s, because at the beginning it has a sepia tone to it. The colors aren't as vibrant. But as it progresses past the 1950s, the colors do start to become more vibrant as well.
Mm-hmm. Reflecting on eras like the 60s and 70s.
All the way up to the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it has issues. And it has issues on my perspective as well, because they really mixed up the story as well. Only because I've spent so much time actually reading about the actual story. I think that it would have been more interesting to see more talking to the camera, because they talk to the camera a lot in the film, but not as much as the stage show. But they do That's just personal.
Go on.
Do you have someplace to be?
No, my watch always does that at 2 o'clock for some reason.
I think that at some point it would not be bad of them to release a documented version of the stage play. They did that with Shrek the Musical, which is on Netflix. You can actually watch almost a television version of the stage play. So they have cameras set up and they perform the stage play. And I think the Jersey Boys would actually benefit from that. But the movie itself, for now, is perfect for, and I still put it on because the music is great. Behind the scenes on the Blu-ray, a little lacking, but then again, it's just a musical. Relatively low budget musical, too. Overall, I loved it. It's not great. Just an A-. It's okay. It gets a little bit more because I love the story. I love rags to riches stories and stuff like that.
They're always fun to watch.
Yes.
Now that we've reviewed 5 movies, it's time for...
Do we have 5 more movies after this?
Yes.
Holy crap.
We agreed on 10.
I know
Now
we
it's
did.
time for Who Wants to Be a Film Buff? Where we review 5 questions against each other.
Review 5 questions?
No, we don't.
against each
We
other?
challenge each other with 5 questions each, and we are given 2 lifelines. We can either do a 50-50 pick, or we can check our phone, but we can only check it for as long as 1 minute.
Well, that's not that hard. My Wi-Fi is good here. Should be relatively quick.
Okay.
I just got to look at some movies from 2015 just to get some trivia, since I didn't, because originally we were supposed to be talking about the night before, but Kevin couldn't see the night before, and I forgot. So I wrote a review about the night before, which maybe I will post.
What's wrong?
Just focus on that one now.
Okay.
That one overheated.
Okay. So,
anyways, just give me 1 second. Okay, not actually 1 second. You just screw. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay, I got some good questions, and they are all from. Let's see, I'm gonna choose. Yeah, all from 2015.
All right.
Okay, you can ask first though.
All right. Mine is all over the place. So,
Okay.
question 1: what was Count Dooku's Sith name? A. Bane, B. Plagueis, C. Tamboris, or D. Tyrannus?
We haven't even gotten to Star Wars yet, so I didn't get to explain the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of the series overall.
Well,
I have no idea.
come on, you got it. Would you like to use one of your lifelines?
Nope. Can I have the list again?
A. Bane, B. Plagueis. You better not be on the internet.
Well, I have my movie list. I'm not Googling
C.
anything.
Tamboris, or D. Tyrannus?
C.
Tamboris?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect. The answer is Tyrannus.
Oh, it was either C or D. Did you know that, Camera Girl? Whatever.
Your question now.
In the 2015 movie, Avengers, Age of Ultron, what is the name of Hawkeye's wife? Is it A. Linda, B. Laura, C. Lisa, or D. Layla?
A.
A. Linda?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
You're wrong.
Ooh.
It was Laura.
Dang.
I know.
On to number 2. Where is Dr. Evil's lair at the start of Goldmember? And no interrupting. Is it A, the Empire State Building, B, the Hollywood sign, C, the Starbucks Tower, or D, Mount Rushmore?
I haven't
Would you like to use one of your lifelines?
Yeah, sure.
All right, which one would you like to use?
What are the choices?
You have either the choice of a 50-50 draw, or you have the choice of checking on your phone, but you only have 1 minute.
Okay, 50-50.
All right, your choices are either the Hollywood sign or the Starbucks tower.
Hollywood sign.
Is that your final answer?
Sure, why not?
You are correct.
Yay, I knew it.
Your question now.
In the 2015 movie San Andreas, Kylie, and I can't pronounce her last name, Minogue. Anyways, Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
How does she die? A. Does she drown? B. Does she fall from a great height? C. Does she get squashed by a falling building? Or D. Does she get hit by debris? I guess this is a spoiler, but it was San Andreas. Whatever.
I'd like to use one of my lifelines, please.
Okay.
The 50-50 draw.
50-50? Okay. Your remaining ones are she drowns or she falls from a great height.
She falls from a great height.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You're correct.
Great. All right, next one.
We're tied.
We are tied. Question 3. Which of the following weapons does Gaston not use against the Beast in the climax? Is it A, a rifle, B, a bow and arrow, C, a makeshift club, or D, none of the above?
Which does he not use?
Yes, which does he not use against the Beast?
I didn't know I was going to have to watch Beauty and the Beast for this. It's weird that you threw in the none of the above. But it's Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So I think shooting at the Beast with a gun would be kind of dark. But then again, it's like good era Disney, too. The none of the above thing gets me. But then again, you're none of the above, too, so that made no sense. None of the above.
Is that your final answer?
I haven't seen that in so long. Gaston was prided at being a man among men, really strong, so one would assume that he would perhaps only use. So yeah, D. Why not?
You sure?
That's not what you asked.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect. The answer is rifle.
Yeah, that was my second choice.
He fired a bow and arrow against him. Then he formed a makeshift club to knock him out.
Okay.
Well, try to knock him out. Your next question, please.
Which spiked drink causes Henry Cavill to fall unconscious in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Is it A, Scotch, B, tea, C, a margarita, or D, bourbon?
I'm going to have to go with C, a margarita.
Is that your final answer?
Actually, no. Let me think. What was D again?
Bourbon.
D.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Sorry, incorrect. It was Scotch.
Dang. My next question. Which of the following villains was not foreshadowed at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2? A, Doc Ock.
I've never seen this movie. I had no interest in seeing this.
Answer, you still got to answer the question.
I know I do.
A, Dr. Octopus. B, Mysterio. C, the Vulture. Or D, Venom.
Dr. Octopus.
You sure?
A. Yeah.
Incorrect. The answer is Mysterio.
Oh, Mysterio. Okay.
So both of those only managed to get one right each.
That was 5 questions? Or do we still have one more?
I still have one more. You still have 2 more.
Oh. What is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character name in the credits of Terminator Genesis? Is it A, the T-800, B, Protector, C, Terminator, or D, Guardian?
A.
A? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
You're wrong. It's the Guardian.
Dang. My final question.
We suck.
We suck balls.
It's because it's too wide.
Hopefully it's not each other's balls we suck.
Only in your dreams.
Only in our nightmares.
I have never. Now you've made me, against my will, picture your testicles, and they are as funny looking as your face, so it's okay.
All right, my final question is this:
Probably laughable.
Which of the following anime series received a truly terrible live-action adaptation?
Oh.
A. Sailor Moon, B. Dragon Ball, C. Cowboy Bebop, or D. Full Metal Alchemist?
Has there ever been a live-action Sailor Moon?
I can't answer that.
Well, no. Well, okay, I'll answer and then I'll ask because I don't know. Dragon Ball.
You sure?
Yeah.
That your final answer?
Yes.
You are correct.
Yeah. Has there been a live-action Sailor Moon?
There has been a live-action series, but not a live-action film in Japan.
Okay. You'd think they'd jump on that. Yay! 2 out of 5! It's like Kevin's college grades!
You still have one more question.
I do. Should I make it really hard?
Well, it's up to you. I'm losing too, you know.
What year does Ant-Man begin? Is it A, 1987, B, 1986, C, 1989, or D, 1990?
I'm going to have to use my lifeline for this.
That's a good one for the lifeline. Let it be known
I have only 1 minute.
that I got 2 right, and I only use 1 lifeline.
All right, you'll have to time me.
Okay, hold on. Actually. Siri, set a timer for 1 minute.
Okay,
Go.
I set it. Just remember, a watch iPad never boils.
Show off.
Thank you, Siri. 47 seconds on the clock.
All right.
I guess I shouldn't have picked this one, because this is very easily Googleable.
Yep.
30 seconds on the clock.
I'm down.
You calm down. I'm good. You want to go for Chinese food?
That'll kill me.
No.
What were your options?
1987, 1986, 1989, or 1990?
It's C, 1989.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Are you 100% sure?
I'm 100% sure.
You don't want to check again?
I don't want to check again.
Are you sure?
I am damn sure.
I'm just waiting for the timer to go. There we go. So your 1 minute is up. And you are right. It was 1989.
We are tied.
Yes.
Unless you want to go for the lightning round.
There's a lightning round?
Well, no, I've just made that up, but want to move on to our next movie.
How about one more question each? No lifelines. Just to, because we can't have a tie.
And it can't be any, and it can be any movie in general, not set this year or set. So this is one for you. Who is the first juror to vote not guilty in 12 Angry Men?
Oh, you.
Is it A, Juror 11, B, Juror 3, C, Juror 8, or D, Juror 2? You still have one lifeline left.
No, we said we cannot use the lifeline.
Okay, what's your option?
We're just going to end up tying again. Juror 2.
You sure?
I haven't seen 12 Angry Men in so long.
It's final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect. The answer is Juror 8.
Okay.
Your question.
What jazz drummer does Tom Cruise discuss with a shop assistant in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation? Is it A, Max Roach, B, Art Blakey or Blackie, C, Billy Higgins, or D, Shadow Wilson?
I haven't even seen that movie.
You didn't see Mission Impossible? It was really good.
I have to go with A, just ballparking.
Max Roach?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it was Shadow Wilson. So we're still tied.
My bad. Well, on to our next movie then?
Yeah, might as well tie.
Can we cut? I have to change 2 batteries.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine. Shooting with 3 cameras, we'll be able to cut and it'll look relatively seamless. Just don't move that much.
Fair enough.
Chinese
Great.
food will kill you?
I don't like Chinese food.